So, this is Takoda Roland, the founder of the app Mic Check, which we're using to run our ticketing system for Tillery Live today. Welcome to Musicians Can Thrive.
Thank you for having me on. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. You're like basically my super fan.
Yeah,
So we're at one right
I'm a
now.
super fan.
So for those who don't know, why did you decide to start an app to make ticketing for local artists?
Right, so it started as a pandemic project where really for me what I felt I was missing the most was that live music experience of all the things we lost during the year with COVID. So one of the things I wanted to do, so I had been to Austin a lot and didn't feel like I connected that well as an outsider to the local music scene. So it's really a tool that I developed that I selfishly wanted for myself as a discovery tool to find out about all the cool local shows that are happening in Austin.
Funny how things start with selfish motivation.
Selfish motivation. So I was like, this is a tool I could see myself really using. So I just wanted to try to make it happen.
Yeah, for sure. So one of the things that we initially started bonding on was customer service for musicians and their fans.
Right.
And so when it comes to Mic Check, I think one of the really cool things is there's that artist profile where a band or an artist can post videos of themselves on stage and photos and like a clip of their song. So a booking manager and a fan could have equal access to that kind of information.
Right.
So how are people responding to that?
I think it's been very positive. So it's one of the things where, especially on the local music scene, it's not always easy to find out who that artist on the poster is.
Yeah.
Where, I'm going to see a show that looks great, but there's going to be a lot of artists on there that you likely haven't seen if it's a smaller local show. And a lot of them, maybe some of them use Facebook, maybe some use Instagram, that it's not always easy to connect with them. So one of the things we really wanted to do is help artists connect with new fans by making it as simple as possible for those fans to check out those artists. So with the short video clips, you can very quickly see where there's a show happening near you and just get a real quick glimpse of what it'd actually be like to go see those guys live, to hopefully draw more fans in and make it easier to engage with the local music scene.
Yeah, for sure. From my personal perspective, my day job's in marketing, and it's all about reducing the friction, making it really easy for someone to make that purchase and get, in the door to the show. So one of the things I love about what you're doing is that not only do you have to sort of research information of who is this person? Are they even worth going to the show for? You also, in one click, without having to Google the show and try and find the venue website, hunt down the ticket from there, it's just one click from their profile. You can buy a ticket for their show. Yeah,
exactly. The idea is to make it as effortless as possible. Nobody wants a homework assignment when they're trying to find a fun thing to do. So just having all that information there with the short video format, we feel is a very effective way to drive more fans to connect with local music.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate that easiness myself as someone hosting a show today.
Yeah,
trying to get people to buy those tickets. I can just send them a link and be like, boom, here you go.
Here you go, buy it here. Tell us who you're trying to support. That's obviously a big motivation behind what we're doing here, is to not just be ticketing, but be ticketing that highlights the value add of each individual artist. So many of these local shows are multi-artist. So it's very challenging as a band or as a venue to really know how many people are coming out to support each artist on that bill. And because nobody really knows those answers, a lot of times artists don't get paid very well because it's hard to quantify that. Versus the way our ticketing works, where we track which artist did they find out about the show from, who actually led to the sale, and then on that ticket purchasing screen, they can indicate the multiple artists they're there to support. So our hope is, as we start building out more of this data, as we launch our ticketing platform, that it enables artists to work with more venues that they currently aren't able to. Because it seems like, especially in Austin, a lot of it is, do you know that guy at the venue that's going to give you a date to play?
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it has to operate, because they don't necessarily know these artists and what kind of draw they're going to have. So our hope is, with good data behind them, it makes those conversations much more easy, where maybe you're usually down in South Austin at Far Out Lounge and the artists are playing there, but a venue or Center City, if we're looking at a Swan Dive, doesn't know that artist, doesn't know what their draw is going to be. But if that band can come to them and say, hey, look, I brought out 50 fans at my last show at a $10 price point. That's why you should pay me this amount of money.
Yeah, and it makes it, I'm worth.
Here's what I'm worth. There's good hard data behind it that it we're hoping that leads to better artist compensation.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely all about anything that can give more power to the artist when it comes to.
Well, it's been a complaint I've heard from artists where a lot of times the promoters maybe don't do the best job promoting specifically for that artist. And there seems to be in the DIY community, certain promoters are just the person that knows that guy at the venue that can get you the show. But this way, it's very clear to all parties involved in a show who's really bringing people out, who's letting people know about the show, and kind of highlighting those areas for both artists and promoters on where they can improve.
Yeah, I can imagine in the realm of social media numbers being really popular, this helps bring some more accountability to, you know, you have several thousand people that follow you, but how many can you actually get to your show?
Come to the show? Yeah, and we see that especially in Austin where so many artists move here because of the music, or maybe they have a very strong following in their native city, but are your 10,000 Instagram fans from Chicago coming to see your show in Austin? Probably not.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we have very exciting things coming with Mic Check, and I look forward to talking to you again, hopefully soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in the
Always
meantime,
happy to talk.
thank you for everything that you're doing.
Yeah, thanks for having us here. It should be a great day. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Where can people find Mic Check online?
So we have a website, themiccheck.com. They can also check out the app on both the Google Play and Apple Store.
And what about Instagram?
Instagram, we are @getmiccheck.
All right, cool. Well, Takoda Roland, thank you again.
Thanks for having me on.